Howdy howdy, this is Crafty Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I'm going to do a round 1 results recap for the Captain America Infinity War and Nightcrawler arenas, and then jump into some round 2 cutoff predictions. So first, the round 1 cutoff results. So things appear to be back to normal with the 4-star and 5-star feature arenas, with Captain America going back his 5-star feature arena all the way over here on the left at 42 million, with the top 10% chart tier coming in at 10.6 million. Then we jump over to the 4-star feature arena with the cutoff coming in at 13.5 million, with the top 10% chart tier at 4.1 million. Then jumping over to the 4-star basic Nightcrawler arena, you can see that his cutoff was 1.9 million, with 11 to 25% chart tier at 1.4 million. And lastly, with the 3-star feature arena, we see the cutoff was right around 1 million, with 11 to 25% chart tier at 567,000. So these results are kind of in line with what we were seeing in the past. So not a big surprise for sure on this one. While 42 million isn't a great number, it's good to see at least some normalcy in here, coming back a little bit. Not 100% sure why now that we saw the dips that we did with the Proxima Midnight and Corvus Clave arenas for the 4-star and 5-star feature arenas. Because, you know, the argument at the time was that Infinity Dungeons were taking, you know, everybody was spending their time with that, not enough time for grinding. But it appears now that, I mean, Dungeons are still around, but maybe people are getting bored with that, coming back to the arenas, whatever. Or maybe they just like Cap. But because these results were kind of as expected, my predictions were pretty close, all within 10%, and actually all within 5%, really, with the prediction of 40 million was just off the 42 million. The 13 was right around that 13.5. The 2 million was right above the 1.9, and the 1.1, of course, was right around the 1 million. So all of these are really good, in line with where the cutoffs were. So that's good to see, and bad to see also because now we're back with 40 million points for an arena cutoff, which, you know, isn't really good for anyone. But with these being the round 1 results, let's jump into some trend analysis for some round 2 predictions. So first, with the 5-star feature arena, you can see where that big dip occurred there. We were kind of tracking along, kind of that steady incline going up and up till we reached 50 million with Proxima Midnight. Dungeons came out. Some say that the arena, or some say that Kabam booted out some accounts that were using arena mods. Then that was just a big fall from 50 million to 16 million in the first round. Then we saw it stick around with Corvus for the first round with 13 million, but then it jumped right back up to 30 million in the second round. So not exactly sure why we saw those big reductions in arena cutoffs, but now it seems like we're right on track to kind of where we were at before. Now when we jump over to the 4-star features, same thing really. You can see we're kind of have that same steady incline. Then with that 14 million that we saw for Proxima Midnight. Now what was interesting though, Proxima's first round and second round were very similar, around 13-14 million. And it wasn't until Corvus that we saw the big drop in both of his scores. Not just the first round, but both of his scores were much lower than the norm. And but then with Captain America this time around, we see that it jumps right back where we were seeing that previous incline. Now coming over with Nightcrawler, you can see kind of as expected with an old champ, even though he has a lot of utility still, or has some utility anyway. Maybe we can debate whether it's a lot or not, but regardless, he does have some utility still in the game. People are still looking to get him. He fit right along lines with a lot of those other kind of low interest 4-star basic champs. And you can see for the most part, in terms of thinking of what's going on with second round, there's a lot of similarities between round 1 and round 2. And when the champs still have some utility, like Agent Venom, there's typically a slight increase between round 1 and round 2. Same thing with Electro. And if we looked at Crossbones, you would see that same kind of thing. Now jumping over to the 3-star feature arena, you can see that between round 1 and round 2, there's a decline, and these numbers for the most part are pretty much in track of what we saw for the first round cutoff. So we should expect to see a slight decrease, but not significant, especially like what we saw with Corvus. Those numbers kind of hang around the same area, 1 million, 1.001 and to 1.023. So there's not a big dip like we typically saw into the 900,000. So maybe that's kind of the new norm, just hanging around that $1 million point cutoff. So with these being the the trends, let's here are my thoughts in terms of round 2 predictions. So with the 4-star, or I should say with the 5-star feature arena, I think that caps cutoff would be around 42 million with the top 10% at 11 million. And then when we look at the 4-star feature, I think we're going to see that number come in at 14.5 million with the top 10% at 4.2. I think the cutoff for Nightcrawler in the second round will be 2 million with the 11 to 25% chart here at 1.3 million. And lastly, the 3-star feature, I think cap will come in right around 975,000 with the 11 to 25% around 500. And that 975 might actually sneak up to 1 million. So these are my estimates. This is where I think the cutoffs, I think these cutoffs will land right around these numbers within give or take 10%. So I always like to give kind of like a buffer just in case that 10% is on the lower side and it's a little bit higher. So to make sure you really get cap, you want to go to 44 million. If you want to get the 4-star feature cap, go to 15 million. If you want Nightcrawler, go to 2.1 million. And lastly, if you want that 3-star featured Captain America Infinity War, go to 1.5 million. Now, these grind targets as well as rough estimates are for the veterans bracket, meaning your account's been open for over 61 days. If you have a newer account, it's really hard to get past results, and there's a lot of fluctuation between how many are actually participating in the lower bracket just because people move from bracket to bracket over time. So here's just some rough ranges based off my own personal experience from a couple months back with my free-to-play account, as well as recent input from folks in the community. And by the way, if you're in the intermediate or beginner bracket and don't mind coming to this video and posting your results, would really appreciate it just to see what you're getting in these lower brackets, as that'll help me get another point of reference when trying to help others in the community on what to target for future arenas. But anyway, starting with the beginners bracket, if you want the 3-star feature Captain America Infinity War, you want to get around 245,000. For the 4-star basic cap, go to around 750, maybe 850,000. For that Nightcrawler, sorry, and for the 4-star feature, which is Captain America, you want to go to 1.2 million. For the intermediate bracket, for the 3-star cap, you want to go to around 500 to 525,000. For the 4-star Nightcrawler, go to 1 million, and for the 4-star feature cap, go to 1.2 million. Again, these are just some rough estimates for these earlier brackets, as it's really hard to get past results. Plus, there's all the fluctuation that we see between the different rounds. So again, here are my thoughts for the veterans bracket. We'd love to hear what you think. Throw it on down in the comment section. We can definitely talk it there, especially if you have any questions or if you have a difference of opinion in terms of where these cutoffs will be. If you think they'll be tremendously higher or lower, we'd love to hear about it and discuss it in the community comment section. Other than that, if you like this video, we really appreciate you clicking that thumbs up button. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, would really appreciate it. Subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by and have a great day.